Today we're going to be interviewing Micheal Rinne. He's a trust and probate attorney. We're going to be talking about things that's very important to you, such as why you need a living trust, how it's going to save you money and protect your family. So thank you so much, Micheal, for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Sure, thanks too, Krista.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So you're an estate planning and asset protection lawyer.
That's right.
Okay,
yes.
So what exactly do you do?
Well, what I do is nowadays, probably 90% is dedicated to setting up very well drafted trusts for my clients.
Okay, so you set up trusts.
Yes.
And then what exactly is a living trust?
So a living trust, as opposed to a will, is a living document, and what it does, it in the long run saves a lot of money, and it protects your children and your assets.
Okay, everyone loves to save money, correct?
Yes.
So explain to me, how does it actually protect your children?
So when you set up a living trust, normally you can just put it in your drawer and forget about it, but once you've passed away and it's for your children to inherit, instead of having to go to the court and pay thousands of dollars to lawyers, they can easily and quickly take the assets, and that can be very important.
Okay, so they're basically taking a lot of the profits that the individual has left behind going through probate.
A lot of money, yes.
A lot of money. So can you give me an example?
I can give you an example. I'm also a probate attorney, and I can tell you that, for example, on a $500,000 estate, probably up to $25,000 or so will be lost in the probate process, plus a lot of time that is lost to rent out the property, etc.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's really important to have a trust. So then, Micheal, how does the trust protect your kids?
Right. Everybody wants to protect their kids, and what a trust does is, let me just give you a little story here. I had one client, and she came in for a bankruptcy she had to file, and she was a beneficiary of a trust. She got $5,000 every month out of this trust, and there was a lot of money in there. It was no problem to file a bankruptcy. Nobody was taking her money away, because trusts have the possibility to put a spendthrift clause into them that prevents all the money to flow into their names, and that way creditors cannot attach to it. This would be totally different if there was not a trust.
So what is exactly a spendthrift clause?
A spendthrift clause, what it is, it can literally be, one sentence in somewhere in the trust, which says it gives the power to the trustee to withhold monies from creditors, and to have all the discretion to withhold the money even from the beneficiary. And creditors and creditors' attorneys will look at that. When they see it, they will back off. I promise you. I had these cases several times.
Wow, I have a trust, and I don't think I have a spendthrift clause in there, which I do.
Then it should be reviewed.
Yes. Okay. I'll have you do that for me.
Review it, please. Yeah,
okay. So also with one thing I know that with trust that's really important is if there is a sum of money that's left, you can delegate when they get it, how much they get it, things like that.
Way more flexibility. Just what you just said. Yes, you have all the flexibility. You can put in. For example, 20% shall go to my child when it's 18, another 30% when it graduates college, or if it doesn't, then at the age of 30. None of this you could put in a will, because when you have a will, it just goes right away when the kid is 18.
Got you.
That's not always the best. Yeah.
And remember, you want to make sure that when they're 25 or 30 that you put money aside for them to buy a house. That's really important, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so then how long does it take to set up a trust?
With most of my clients, it's about, I would say, 1 month, because we do a draft and then we discuss it, and then maybe there's changes, and But here and there, clients are going to go on vacation and they want it done in 3 days, and it's possible to do this quickly, yes.
That's great. And you wouldn't believe how many times that I've had so many issues in the real estate with the homes being sold where they're getting held up by probate, and it's very, very costly, and you have to wait for the attorneys, and the attorneys want to check everything, and it costs a lot of money. So it's so important to have that. I can definitely see the benefit of it.
Yes, and like I say, as a probate attorney myself, and I have a lot of stories where houses are really stuck in probate and they cannot be rented out. There's not even enough money to maintain them just because the judge didn't sign an order. None of this is possible when you have a trust. It's just much more smooth.
Okay, great.
It's definitely worth setting it up.
And what does it cost typically to set up a trust?
Normally trust, I'm going to call it trust packages because there's more documents, about $2,000.
Okay.
And And it depends a little bit, if somebody comes in and they have 5 houses and 2 businesses, it might be a different fee, it might be an hourly fee, but generally in this area it's about $2,000.
It's around $2,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and well worth the cost to save anywhere from $25,000 on up.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Now, you've given us so much great information. Is there anything else that you would like to share that we should be made aware of?
I just want to invite anybody to call me or to come in for a consultation. I don't even charge for it. This is my favorite area of the law. This is what I love to do.
Which is kind of surprising because if you get them during probate, you make a lot more money.
That is true, but it's just not.
But
ethical.
You're not helping
it's
people.
It's just not ethical, and I think it's almost malpractice for a lawyer not to tell the client that they have the option to do a trust versus a will. It's the worst thing just to set up a will and wait to do the probate. That's not.
And I tell my clients all the time how important the trust is, and I think we just get busy and we forget, but it really needs to be done. And also it takes the burden off of the children once the parents pass, which is great too.
It is a lot of pages, but for the clients it's actually not a lot of work to do to set it up. It's really the attorney who does the work.
I mean the burden of taking care of everything once the parents pass.
Exactly.
Yeah, takes that burden off the children.
It does.
Okay.
It's very smooth.
Well, you have been great. I really appreciate it, Micheal. I know, we've worked together in the past and you've always been so pleasant. And remember, he does give free consultations, so it doesn't hurt to ever go in and talk.
Thanks.
Okay, glad you came.
Thanks, Krista.